So, Grammy, what was life like growing up for you?
Well, for one thing, it was not complicated like now. We used to be out in the country, and we would run wild outside. And when it rained, we would play in the rain, and it was a very happy time growing up.
So, play in the rain. Your parents weren't worried about you all getting sick or catching some sort of disease, getting bit by a snake, or
No, we were used to that kind of a life, so we were exposed to that since very young. So we rarely got sick.
right. It's not like today that a lot of parents. Oh no, you can't go outside. It's raining. The car might not see
Thunder,
you.
and all that,
Yeah. Okay. And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Laguna Seca. It's north of Edinburgh, 17 miles north of Edinburgh. And I was born in Edinburgh. And it was, I don't know, to me, I was happy. My parents both were there, and I was just very happy compared to some of the things that I see now with couples, struggling with their kids or fighting or just anything.
So let's talk technology. How is it different today than it was back then?
Oh my goodness. We had nothing but a radio that was operating a battery, and that was it. We didn't have TV, we didn't have anything. We would play outside most of the time. We were never sitting around or just doing nothing. So now it's so different. Kids are always glued to their games and the TV, so I guess that's why I'm so healthy, because I was always running around.
What was life like before personal computers in the home?
In the home? The only time I came across the computers was when I was working in the library, and I had to handle the computer to enter the student's name and the points they had for reading. So not really. It was a much more slower life. Nowadays, you're running here and there and with cars and all that, and at those times, we live out in the country, so we couldn't walk very far.
What was dating like in the 1950s and 60s?
Well, the only dating I did was that I was going to a church, and that was my only outing, my only way to go and be among young people, and that's where I met my husband, church.
So basically, you would meet. Men and women would meet like at church or at school. There was
some would go to movies. I'm sure we used to have the drive-ins where we would go and meet there or whatever. But it was
explain a drive-in. Some people watching might not have ever seen a drive-in.
Right, where you go into the area in your car, and then they have speakers. And you bring it in the speaker hang it by the door on the door, and the big screen. It was an outside thing. So most of us would take blankets and lunch.
So you pile up as many people in the car.
Yes, for $1. All the car, full car for $1.
And you get to watch a movie.
Yes.
Like now, dating, it's based off of technology. So you get on social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, dating sites, dating apps, Tinder. People basically, that's how they meet.
I don't know. I didn't get to date until I was, like I say, around 18, and we were already in McAllen, living in McAllen. So I started going to a church, and that's where I met a lot of young kids.
Very different.
Very, very
as far
different.
as now, you don't have to meet someone before you go on a date. You're communicating online, texting,
know each other.
social media, and that's how you're getting to know each other. Or people have basically their whole life online. So
everybody finds out about their life.
Right. Before you even really get to communicate with them.
No.
So
communicate by letters.
How how do jobs differ today than when you were younger?
Oh, jobs were. I can go back and I remember young people would go out in the field and pick cotton or take the weeds out of the plants, and it was nothing like nowadays. Whereas people are more educated.
A lot of manual labor.
A lot of manual labor. And it's so different now.
Well, nowadays the technology has caught up to where machines do the manual labor.
That's right.
So people have to kind of fall back more on an education to work.
To get a job, yes.
Because
then it was all manual, like you say, and now you have to know a lot of computer stuff and information and this and that. It's totally different.
Yeah. I mean, another example that I can think of is you go into Walmart. How many cashiers do you see at Walmart?
No.
They have the self-service area now where you're your own cashier.
Yes,
you're your
right.
own bagger. And so even jobs like that are becoming overpowered by technology.
Yeah.
So, I mean, imagine if we've gotten that far now, imagine in 50 years. What kind of jobs?
Yeah. Well, because now kids are more educated, and at those times, if you were working at a store as a clerk, man, that was a big job. That was important jobs. But now, kids don't, like you say, they don't need cashiers anymore. They do everything by machinery. Parents were very strict when I grew up because they wouldn't let boys could go out and party and everything, but not the women or the girls. They had to stay home. And of course, I was the oldest girl, and then there was 4 or 5 boys, and they were very jealous, and they wouldn't let me out. And
so if the boys were allowed to go out and have their fun, and the girls weren't, who were the boys having fun with? Just each other?
No.
Or
they were out drinking.
Would a girl manage, to sneak away, or maybe have parents that didn't care as much,
or they lived in town, so they were able to go to the movies and meet there. But nowadays, it's so easy to find a friend or a boyfriend or a husband because technology. And then at my times, we would get young very young, because we just wanted to get out of the house, so we would get married. And now women, I notice, are getting married
after their education.
Which is very smart.
Right,
because they didn't require my times. They didn't require if you graduated from high school. Oh, that was a big thing.
Right.
And now you have to go to 4-year college.
Well, because back then the mentality was the wife stays at home.
Yes.
The wife takes care of the kids. The wife cooks. The wife cleans.
Yes.
On the bag.
The children.
And well, now they share the chores. Women and men both work. They both provide. They both take care of kids, change Pampers, feed them.
I was just gonna say that. The first time that my husband saw one of the son-in-laws changing the diaper on the child, he said, "Why are you doing that? Let the mom do that." And now men are just equal. I mean, they do the same chores that a woman does. They cook, they clean, which is great, because now both the husband and wife work. So they all together, they do their housework or cooking or run to Whataburger.
Sometimes we don't cook. And how do you see the kids, like their attitudes? Do you see a change in, for example, how your kids grew up and their attitudes towards maybe grandpa, not being able to spend as much time with them because he worked very hard and he was tired and he wanted to come home, eat dinner, go to sleep, as opposed to now, for example, my husband, he comes home and he'll watch TV with the kids, or he'll take them to the park, and he spends a little bit more time with them because it's not stigmatized anymore as far as, well, the man doesn't do that.
In my times, the woman was the one that would take care of the kids, bathe them or get them ready for school, and do a lot of things, while the husband, of course, worked hard during the day. He'd come home and take a bath, eat, and sleep. And even if the woman works,
A woman's work is never done.
That's right.
Yeah, we still
Very, very different. And more liberal now. The women out on their own. They are educated, so they're not afraid to, well, if it doesn't work, I'll just divorce and go and get a good job because she's educated. Now, in my times, we depend a lot on the men to support and bring in the money. But I'm satisfied with my life.
Well,
I've had a good life.
different times are different. I mean, that's what you all knew. That's what you grew up seeing.
Yeah.
Your mom took care of all the kids. How many kids?
12, and some that died or still born, so about 17.
You saw my great grandma taking care of you and your brothers and sisters, so that was normal for you.
Yeah. And then, of course, being the eldest, she would have a child every 10, 11 months. So guess who would do there were no disposable diapers either. They were cloth diapers, and we had to clean them up and hang them out in the line, no washer, no dryer. So it was different, but I think women grew. As they grew, they learned the responsibility and were more attached, I guess, to the kids. But I've been blessed with my family, my daughters, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, and I'm happy.
And hopefully your great-great-grandkids one day.
Maybe I'll get there. I don't know. At the moment, I'm 75, so I don't know. Maybe 10 more years or 5. I don't know.
When we factor in medical advances,
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing that,
Yeah,
back before your days, people would get diarrhea and die.
Yeah, that's true.
So who knows if...
Yeah, but it's very different. And we get into it that we forget about our times. We want everything fast, everything handled to us, but that's life.
But yeah, but because you end up adjusting to the time,
Better things too.
the time periods and how things have changed, and yeah, it's so different from back then. I mean, because you have
there was no education.
You have a
and you got to
smartphone
8th
now.
grade. Yeah,
You have Facebook.
Yes, I have Facebook. I love my Facebook.
We adjust to what we have around us, and yeah, instant gratification that we have.
When I get stuck with my phone that I don't know how to work it or whatever, I go to my grandkids, my great-grandkids. They're smart. They know everything.
Yeah, so that's something that
Totally different. We used to communicate by letters only.
Right.
Letters and,
Right, for example, when your brothers were in the military,
yeah.
they were overseas, and can you tell me about that? How you all would communicate with your brothers?
Okay. I have 2 brothers that were in the Vietnam situation, whatever they used to call it, and by letters. And we never told our dad that they were overseas or fighting out there, because he was sick and old, but he was very smart. He didn't have a education, but when he noticed the envelopes without a stamp, he would say, well, how do these letters get here without a stamp? And that's because people, the soldiers, military people, don't have to pay for stamps.
Right.
So I have 4 brothers that served in the services.
And how long would it take between
The letters?
sending a letter and getting one?
Oh, at least 2-3 weeks.
So
it would take a while.
you could have written, "Hey brother, I don't feel so good today. I feel sick."
I know.
And well, by the time they get it, you're better.
I know. And when my dad passed away, 2 of my brothers were in Vietnam. So, well, of course, then the government or whoever was in charge would just call, and they fly them in. So they were able to get here before my dad passed away. So it's just so different. So I don't know, but I'm very proud of my brothers serving in the military.
Oh, yes, of course. And then we go to the more modern times when my husband was deployed. We communicated through the internet, through emails. We would do, at the time we didn't have FaceTime because it was still, a couple years before that, but we had Yahoo chats that we would connect our computer cameras to the computer and we could see each other. So my baby girl got to see her dad and she didn't forget who he was.
Yes.
I'm sure you remember when he came back
and the airport and
open arms, daddy.
Yeah, and right away they connected, not knowing him, but the blood, and then as you say, through pictures
and seeing him on the computer and of course the phone. I mean, because he would call and we would talk like that. So that's a big difference.
It is a big difference.
I mean, to have to write letters, and I would send him cards every now and then, but it's not the same. Yeah, it was usually online. And just knowing that I had that instant gratification of it's a screen, but we can see each other.
Right.
As far as, I have to write him a letter, and it'll take him probably 2 to 3 weeks for him to receive it. What's gonna happen from that time to the time I get an answer? So it's a big difference there.
Big differences.
Yeah.
And even now, I was so used to cooking every meal and cleaning and washing and everything. Well, now I just sit back. We just run for a burger or make a sandwich, and it's not as much cooking as I used to do when kids were at home.
Right.
But it's totally different. Everything is so different.
Did you ever imagine growing up that you would live to see this sort of technology, or was it stuff that you could have never imagined that?
Now that you say that, when my dad, of course, he was born in 1895.
Wow.
So they didn't know anything about it. Of course not. But there was this man, there was some kind of could see the future or whatever.
Clairvoyant or psychic?
That he said, we're going to see these things flying in the air. Because airplanes were not, maybe in the military, but so that's what he was talking about, airplanes. Wow. He would just say a big machine, a big thing up in the air. So my dad goes way back, and of course he died young. I think 73 was young for him to die. So, but he lived a good life, a hard life, because he worked very hard. But he had many children too. He had his fun. Yeah. I just want to say that I had 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 boy. And from those 4 kids, I have 6 grandkids, 4 boys and 2 girls. And from my grandkids, I have 3 great grandkids. And I loved it. I love it. Because I've enjoyed them, and they love me, and they respect us, and they're good kids. I compare them to other kids that I've been around, like in school. These kids are angels. Not because they're my own, but they've been.
Because you have been around a lot of kids.
Yes. Yes, I have.
Okay, do you have any advice for the future generations or any wisdom to impart?
Well, one very important thing right now I know is education. Education is the main thing right now, and it's just, they don't even have to think about it. They know they have to go to college, after high school. So, very smart kids. And I guess one of the things that my dad would always say, like when I was going to get married, well, they knew that my husband drank, and he said, okay, you're going to get married. It's okay with me. You're old enough. I was 21. But you're not going to come back. You're going to come to visit, but I don't want no divorces, no separation, no. So my husband and I have been married for almost 55 years. It's been a long time, but it's been good.
Yes.
I'm very proud of my kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids. They're all super smart. They're geniuses. What can I say?
So basically, once you decide to get married, stick with it.
That's
Try to
right.
at least
Try
work
to
on
work
it.
it out. Try to work it out. Nowadays, it's either for any little reason they split up. You have to learn how to work with each other's personality and just walk off instead of arguing. I like to argue. My husband and I we defend our points. So, but we've stayed together for 55 years, and nowadays women don't want to put up with thing.
Well,
Okay.
what do you like to say? Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, that's right.
But we learn from our mistakes, and hopefully we.
But I think women at those in my times we used to put up with more, because we were brought up that you get married, you stay married, and you figure it out. So nowadays, I guess that's the way life is now. It's been nice, and I want to thank Derek for introducing me. Well, I knew about this drink, but I had never.
It's your first time at
I'm
Starbucks.
one of those that will not spend so much money on something like this, but it's the first time I have it, and thanks to him. Well, now one thing is that I've got brothers spread all over the nation, so I can fly and be over there with them and enjoy them and enjoy their kids, and I like that. Since my husband doesn't like to fly, well, I do, so he says for me to go on and go, so I go.
And going back to Facebook, you're able to keep communication with your nieces, your brothers.
See pictures of them, and
that
some
are
that are far
over
away, like in Washington State, they send me pictures, and
Right.
we keep in contact. And
So
and
you're
I get
able
to I get to find new friends that I used to know, people that I used to know, because I see them on Facebook. So
Right.
it's fun.
So you like technology now.
Yes, I do.
You're enjoying it as much as
I'm
the
enjoying
13-year-old that I have at home.
Yeah.
It's always good to keep in touch.
Yes. I have a very close-knit family. We're always doing things together, traveling, or even just going to the island, which is one of our close place where we can go and enjoy the beach. And Elaine, of course, is my firstborn grandchild. And she gave me my first great-grandchild, which is good. And then I have JR that gave me a little great-granddaughter. Yes, I'm happy. They're all educated, they're all good people. So I guess I did a good job.
I think so. I'm biased.
What can I say? I'm glad we did this, Elaine. That was a good idea.
Me too. I think it's gonna come out really
It's
cool.
gonna, after years, when I'm gone, it's gonna bring a lot of tears.
20 years from now.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
None of us are ready. But yeah, and hopefully it'll get other people out there who need to reach out to their grandparents, their great-grandparents, to maybe call them up.
Because people are so busy right now, young people,
Oh, yeah.
doing their schooling and working and all that. They don't have time, even if they wanted to. But with this, they'll keep in touch.
And hey, technology is great and everything, and you can keep in touch through Facebook and all the social media and everything, but nothing beats seeing your Grammy in
Being there and
person
hugging.
and getting a big hug
Yeah, and it's
and an I love you. So, yeah.